Today's topic is how to visit people remotely and influence outcomes. Welcome to the Enchanted Empath podcast, where we explore the mystical and magical within you. I'm Charlene, your guide on this journey of intuition, energy, and spiritual empowerment. Whether you're here to strengthen your empathic abilities, deepen your connection with the universe, or simply find a little peace and clarity, you're in the right place. Let's dive in and discover the magic that awaits. I started to visit people remotely when I was a love-struck teenager back in the day before cell phones. I had a mad crush on my best friend's brother, and I was painfully shy. So talking to him while visiting my BF was out of the question and considered bad behavior anyway. So I was home alone one night, and he was on my mind, and I decided to try an experiment. I lit a candle and gazed into it, letting my mind go soft, while imagining him driving up to my house. Now keep in mind that he's never been to my house, and we've never spoken other than a polite hi in passing. Of course, we lived in a small town, and everybody knew where everybody else lived, but nonetheless, he'd never been to my house. We've never visited before. With that candle lit, I focused all of my attention on it and held a really strong vision of him driving up to my driveway to visit me. I envisioned him inside of his truck, the color of the truck. I just saw the whole thing. I did this for about 5 minutes. And then I got bored and I started doing something else. When about 10 minutes later, no kidding, he came driving up my driveway. Imagine my surprise. We visited for about an hour and we ended up dating the entire summer. So whenever I wanted to see him or hear from him, I imagined him driving to my house or picking up the phone and dialing my number. Back in those days, we had phones on the walls. I imagine in great detail, and 9 times out of 10, he was either at my house or he was calling me. So, do you think I stopped there? Heck no. I realized very early in life that thoughts are things. They are literal units of mental energy, and they will go to your intended target. Now, of course, whether your target responds to it or not is completely up to them, since we have free will. But it happens nonetheless. So in my young age, I discovered telepathy. I don't think I knew that word back then, but I knew what this magic or this power was about, and I knew it was real. I've practiced this throughout my entire life, and the results have been really impressive. Like the time I paid a remote visit to my boss and asked if I could work from home instead of coming into the busy Los Angeles office. Working remotely was not a thing back then, but I knew I could focus so much better at home and avoid that long commute and, have more quality time with my kids. So first I asked my supervisor, who said, "Oh, it's probably not likely," but he'd go ahead and ask the boss anyway. I heard nothing for a while, but 2 weeks later, my boss called me directly and agreed that I could work from home and come to the office for meetings as needed. I remember when I paid him the remote visits, he was always in a hotel room. He traveled a lot for work. In his room, he sat at a round table wearing only his underwear. I'm sure my mind dressed him this way to make him less intimidating. I saw myself having conversations about how he would benefit from letting me work from home and that he can trust that I'd get my work done and then some. And it worked, and it paid off. I've used remote visits or telepathy to speak with potential employers, with my family members, my romantic partners, my children, and anyone I wanted to influence in my favor. You can ask for things, you can make amends, you can explain yourself, you can bless people, you can offer healing to people. The possibilities of telepathy are endless. Keep in mind that the receiver or the target has free will, so even though they receive your visit, they get to decide what to do about it. Most of the time, we're not conscious of all of this, right? It's happening at an energetic level. Simply put, telepathy is mental communication with an agenda. It's not meant to be forceful or coercive, and it's in your best interest to be mindful of what you ask for. I'm sure you've been on the receiving end of a remote visit a time or two. Whenever someone is thinking about you, they are sending energy your way. Have you ever had a sudden thought strike you like, I should call my mom? And then you go to call her and she's calling or texting you. Telepathy is a fairly common occurrence since we are energy beings first. It's happening all the time. Why not do it on purpose? Imagine if you made remote visits and practiced telepathy with focus, intention, and purpose. Imagine the outcomes you can create and influence simply by focusing your mind. I recommend using a lit candle for beginners. Gazing at a flame or having a focal point to gaze on helps to maintain your focus in a really soft and mesmerizing way that's not too controlling. The candle is soft. You don't want to find yourself trying too hard. If you're trying too hard, you're probably blocking yourself. Ease into it and fire up your amazing imagination to see your desired outcome play out in detail, in real life. Enjoy the process and let yourself feel as if the thing you're intending is happening now. So let me give you a few steps, 6 steps to visit people remotely or to practice telepathy on your own, okay? So step number 1, decide who you want to visit and why. What outcome do you want? What's your agenda? Right? So you're going to have a target and you're going to have a goal. Number 2, in a peaceful place where you won't be disturbed, light a candle and softly just gaze at the flame. Feel your body become light and lucid. Get into a relaxed place where you can flow. Step 3, in this peaceful place, imagine your person. Imagine your target. Where are they? What are they wearing? Get comfortable with them. Perhaps you're sitting on your sofa face to face, or across the table, or you're whispering in their ear. Picture it. Now, step number 4, imagine a conversation with them. You start and speak your piece. What would you like them to know or to feel? The lovely part of this, and I tell a lot of my clients that having a telepathic communication can be much more effective than an in-person real life conversation. And here's why. Because when you're in your imagination and you're running this show, you are not being interrupted. You can get all of the things that you want out without censoring yourself, without hurrying up because you can tell that they want to talk. So you get to control the pace of this conversation. You get to say your piece. Now, step number 5, you can go ahead and stop there, or you can tune in to hear what they have to say to you. Continue the conversation if you want to. And the beauty is you get to lead the conversation to where you want it to go. Last step, number 6, when you're finished, thank them for listening and go on your way. Here's what's going to happen. You will likely hear from that person or receive evidence of the outcome you want within a day, so long as you don't interfere by force, coercion, or obsessive behaviors, because that will block you. Thank you for joining me today on the Enchanted Empath podcast. I hope you found something magical to carry with you as you move through your day. Remember, your intuition is your superpower. Trust it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Until next time, stay connected to your inner light and keep shining brightly.